Some heads are about to roll, baby. Have you heard about this story? I did last night, and this is freaking huge. And mainstream media is not reporting on it. Why? Why? It just goes along with my theory that mainstream media is in the extreme left's pocket. That's what I think. But this is so huge, it should be blasted all over the world. It really should. My governor, that didn't sound right. I even hate to call him my governor. Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro, Joshua Sparro, is being named along with several other people in the planning of the attempted unaliving of Donald Trump back on January 13th, 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania at that rally. Now, and it is alleged that President Biden at the time met with Shapiro several times prior to the event to talk about the plan. And FBI cover-up. Boom! Now, there are several people listed in this. Defendants are Joshua Sparro and Christopher Paris, Michelle Henry, Val. I know I'm going to butcher her last name, but I really don't care if I butcher her last name. Arkush, Larry Crasher, Francis Cardo. And a lot of these people are associated with government agencies, like three-letter agencies, state police commissioner. Now, what I'm going to put on the screen, and we're going to read this, is the actual private criminal complaint, and then we're going to go over the affidavit. I've got the goods. I've got the goods. Now, if you look over, there's no docket number or anything yet because this is the complaint that was being filed. Over on the right, it says private criminal complaint, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Joshua Sparro, and puts the address of his office in Harrisburg, 508 Main, Capitol Building, Harrisburg, PA 17120. Now, if you go into this, notice under PAR Criminal P 506, your complaint may require approval by the attorney of the Commonwealth before it can be accepted by the magistrate district court. If the attorney for the Commonwealth disapproves your complaint, you may petition the Court of Common Pleas for review of the decision of the attorney of the Commonwealth. Now, I do need to say that this comes from a federal employee, a whistleblower. I was trying to find the name of the whistleblower. The whistleblower might be the actual person filing this complaint. I'm not 100% positive. But if they're not mentioned, I can understand why. Because there is the potential for somebody to mysteriously have an accident, if you catch my drift. Okay. It says defendant's race, white. His gender is male. Date of birth 6/20 of 1973. Eh boy, does this make total freaking sense? Everybody that I have met, and I've met a couple of them that were a cusper of Gemini and Cancer, are dangerous. I had a dating situation that I went on a date with somebody, and I thought I was done. I thought I was going to be on one of you guys' shows as a unalived victim. Okay? Anyhow, yeah, somebody with a cusper. Nah, I know. Before you come after me, not everybody on the cusp is like that. But I'm just saying. I've met a couple of them, and they were shady as shit. Okay? Anyhow, defendant, a.k.a., also known as Joshua Sparro. Okay. The name of the complainant, Hadasha Feinberg. I do hereby state I accuse the above named defendant, who lives in the address set forth above, with the violation of penal laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at 625 Evans City Road, Butler, PA. Okay. Now, it goes on. Participants. If there were participants, place their names here, repeating names of the above defendant. Defendants, Joshua Sparro and Christopher Paris. I believe he was involved with, I will have to double check my facts on that. I think he is the Pennsylvania State Commissioner. Michelle Henry, Val Arkush, Larry Crasher, and Francis Cardio. Page 2 of the criminal complaint. Again, no docket number, but the acts committed by the actual accused were, and there's a long paragraph there, but basically it says, see attached affidavit below, as of which were against the peace and dignity of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and contrary to the act of assembly or in violation of 25 and 901, 902, 903, and A, B, C of the 18. I ask that process be issued, that the defendant be required to answer the charges I have made. I verify that the facts are forth and the complaint are true and correct to the best of my knowledge or information and belief. The verification is made subject to the penalties of Section 4904 of the Crimes Code, 18 PAC, there's something there, 404. Yeah, there is a thumbnail. I got these images from Pinterest when I went searching. I was even looking on Reddit. I'm like, where is this stuff? But because I heard about it and I wanted to see it in black and white before I put this on my channel. Now, it says, I certify that the filing complies with the provisions of the Case Records Public Access Policy of the United States. I think it's something systems of Pennsylvania that require filing confidential information and documents differently than non-confidential information. Um, this was filed just a few days ago on February 7th, 2025. And there's her signature right there. This stuff is legit. Okay? Now, we're going to go over the affidavit. Yes, I got those. I got that as well. I'm going to read the affidavit and I'm going to put it up on the screen so that you can read it also. And then I'm going to have a few comments and I'm going to leave it open to you. Now, when I open up the comments, any really bad comments, any really bad hate comments, if you don't keep them logical, you will be blocked. Your comments will be deleted. I'm not putting up with bullshit. Okay? And if need be, I'll turn comments off. That's just a little bit of a 411, a little bit of warning. Okay? This woman might actually be, oh yes, federal whistleblower. First line. So she is the whistleblower. Now we know. Okay. I, Hassan Feinberg, affidavit and federal whistleblower, hereby allege that defendant Joshua Sparro, in his personal, individual, and office capacity, facilitated, organized, and carried out his plan to unalive President Donald J. Trump on July 13th, 2024. Defendant Shapiro was unsuccessful in completing his mission, but is responsible for organizing and facilitating it, injuring the current president and causing an unaliving of Corey Comparator. I'm sorry, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm bad with pronunciations, especially after my stroke. Just putting that out there. Okay. Defendant Shapiro conspired and colluded with Pennsylvania officials, namely Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris, to carry out the attempted unaliving of President Donald J. Trump on July 13, 2024. Defendant Shapiro commenced the facilitation and coordination of the attempted unaliving by utilizing Pennsylvania State Trooper Commissioner Christopher Paris to conceal the crimes. Defendant Christopher Paris made false and inconsistent statements under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee around August 2024. He falsified statements to thwart and impede the criminal investigation and obscure the discovery of facts leading up to the attempted, in Butler, Pennsylvania. Defendants Joshua Sparro and Christopher Paris actions were willful and not a security failure, as the defendant Paris testified under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee. On July 13, 2024, President Donald J. Trump was bang bang from the Pennsylvania State Police perimeter at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. This was not within the perimeter assigned to the United States Secret Service, and all statements relating to the Secret Service's failure are false. Boom! Boom! That deserves a triple boom. In his sworn testimony, defendant Paris fabricated, distorted, and willfully blamed criminal investigation and concealed the crimes. Both defendants Christopher Paris and Joshua Sparro are named on a RICO lawsuit at the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court for their ongoing crimes of public corruption and fraud in the state of Pennsylvania against thousands of whistleblowers, witnesses, and victims. Okay. It cites another case of Hadassah Feinberg, ETAL versus Scott A. Evans. And it gives us 402 MD 2024 PA Common Court. Okay, now for page 2. And this looks like this was continuing from the previous page, a sentence about what happened is over 10 years ago, including Gregory something, Lee Hoops, and Sean Connolly. Now, I apologize about the little Pinterest thing, but like I said, Pinterest puts her shit on stuff, and then it was obscuring all of our small little parts of the document. So we just have to work through that. But in the next paragraph, starting there, in the days leading up to the attempted, Alex Soros made credible threats to unalive President Donald J. Trump. He has never faced any criminal investigating despite his valid threats. Defendant Joshua Sparro, a close confidant of Soros and recipient of large campaign donations. You hear that? Large campaign donations, carried out the premeditated plan to thwart President Trump from being elected. Defendant Shapiro was actively engaged in launching funds with Ukraine. You hear that? You hear that? The verified election of President Donald J. Trump would not only expose Shapiro's federal laundering, we're talking freaking money laundering, people, but expose multiple officials from the Democratic Party who are laundering millions of taxpayer dollars. Are you pissed off yet? Oh, I know I am. Oh, I'm fuming. I am fuming. Defendant Josh Sparro invited President Zelensky to meet with him in person in 2024, where he physically signed bombs in an unprecedented photo op with Ukrainian president. Let that sink in for a minute. And Shapiro wanted to run for president of the United States. And those of you that want to say, oh, Trump is a felon. What about this shit, people? What about this? And it's getting better. It's getting better as we go through this. And we're going to talk about those charges and that trial in an upcoming video, by the way. That's a whole nother animal. But let's continue on here. In the weeks leading up to the Trump rally, President Joseph R. Biden, you heard me right, made frequent visits to defendant Joshua Sparro to discuss the obstacle faced by the Democratic Party. Imagine that. Joshua Sparro organized, schemed, and conspired with other officials to carry out the attempted assassination against former President Donald J. Trump. I guess I'm far enough into the video I could say the word assassination without YouTube freaking on me. Defendant Joshua Sparro and Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris are guilty and liable of willful misconduct, and their plans to facilitate and organize the attempted assassination must be investigated and charged. Defendant Shapiro is guilty of committing thousands of crimes, including but not limited to threatening, intimidating, and stalking federal whistleblowers, including this affidavit and her children. Yeah, this is why nobody wants to call these people out, because they get stalked, they get harassed, and some people even just magically vanish or have some crazy ass car accident or something, or fall off a building. Who knows? Um, but anyhow, continuing on, her affidavit and her children obstructing and tampering with the murder investigation of Ellen Greenberg. I have a video on my channel where I did a reading on Ellen Greenberg. Okay? If I remember, I'll try to link it, either put a card up or put it in the comments or description box, something for you guys to watch. Greenberg actively obstructing and facilitating election interference in Delaware County, Pennsylvania in 2020. Obscuring justice and threatening Matthew and Carolyn Peterson, obstructing the murder investigation of 9-year-old Jared Tatku, obstructing the murder investigation of 19-month-old Iris Mummert, obstructing the criminal investigation of sexual abuse against J.G., though Michelle Henry, obstructing the criminal investigation of child endangerment relating to EGS, EGERS, and ENS. And I think that's all of the affidavit that I was able to find, but it goes on. Wow. That is corruption at its core. I'm trying to find words. Obstructing the unalivings of children, even. Let that sink in for a minute. Yes, I showed up here in my pajamas because I wanted to get this video put together. This kept me up last night. I heard about this like 2 days ago, and yesterday I finally found a majority of the criminal complaint and affidavit. I think there's probably a page or two that might be missing, but you get the basic drift. And they're even mentioning Biden in this. What did Biden do when he left office? During the inauguration. Pardoned his family, and I think he pardoned himself. But I believe there's a loophole, because as of the inauguration, this affidavit wasn't out, right? This is after the inauguration. So why do you pardon anybody if there's no criminal activity, if they did nothing wrong? I didn't hear anything about Shapiro being pardoned. This is a bombshell. And I went on the internet, I went on YouTube trying to find videos about this. I saw some things about 6 months ago where this woman was throwing these accusations out there, making her affidavit video format. But I think I found one video that was talking about it. I mean, this has to get out there because mainstream media is not going to cover this. Because mainstream media is bought and paid for. Um, but there is just so much here. That's why I said some heads are going to roll. And I'm rethinking my intro, honey. I said world news and events. Maybe it should be titled, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll. Yeah, some heads are gonna roll. But I wanted to bring this out there in my thoughts, and I tell you what, my mind's blown. My mind is totally blown on this. I knew that there was something more to the assassination attempt. I knew it. I knew it. I said it in my reading. Thomas Crooks was either like a sleeper cell or something. But Thomas Crooks hated Trump, and he's in that area, you know, greater Pittsburgh area, not that far from Butler, PA. And I bet BlackRock is the connector. Probably going to go ahead and throw some cards on this in another video. This one is long enough. I know some of you guys like my long videos, but I need to really cut them down to bite sizes. I'm not going to do a reading in this video. I'm going to do it in a separate video on this matter. But shit's getting real. Anyhow, if you like the way I presented this and what information I had, I mean, I produced the goods. I had the docs, most of it. Please give me a thumbs up. Like this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. You're going to be seeing a lot more sit-down documentary type things from here, not just readings. I'm going to be talking about cases and other things going on. So make sure you stay tuned, even if I am in my pajamas in the morning with my first cup of coffee. So, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Of course, I need to stop saying that because I don't even know if the notification bell even freaking works. So many people say they never know when I upload videos and they've got notifications turned on. But anyhow, I digress. Leave a respectable comment. Respectable. And share this out. Share it out. Especially if you're in PA. Let's get the word out about this piece of shit that's sitting in office in the governor's seat. Okay. Love you all. And I am dropping the mic.